So in today's video we'll have something very, very different. A retro microcamper. Now, I bet you didn't even know one of those existed. So in this video you're going to find out what it's like inside, all the things that are inside, how it drives, what it actually is, and maybe by the end of the video you'll end up wanting to buy one. My name's Chris and welcome to Retro Ratchet. Right, let's take a wee look at some of the features on this microcamper. So in behind this one here, this is your gas storage here, so there is a little gas canister living in there. That's where you would connect that up. It's obviously just a diesel for the engine of the Visa. Under this one, I don't know, there's a wee connection for something there. I'm not 100% sure what that blue one actually is. It's not that obvious. Round here, this is where you would fill up the water butt. A wee connection for that inside there. Big massive wing mirrors in these things, I guess, so you can see past the body itself. And moving around the front, well, I mean, it is basically just standard Citroen Visa, except you've got that piece of grey trim along there over the bonnet. Now let's take a wee look around this side, see what's hiding around here. Yeah, you have C15 written on these door trims. So this one down here is your 240 volt connection there, wee 16 amp socket that comes out. So you can load up mains electricity. And there's another little door here, and we'll take a wee look inside, and there is nothing in that one. So that must just be for storage. Right, let's take a wee look round the back. A couple of wee vents on the side here. You get access to the back through this galley door here. I guess these can open in halves. Citroen Romahome, and on an adventure before dementia. So I don't know if that applies to any viewers. And here, and down below, you've got a couple of stabilisers here, I believe, that you can put these down if the van is on rough ground. So yeah, a few little bits there. Okay, let's take a wee look inside, see what we've got in here. Let's see if I can even get in. So I believe one of the unique selling points of these was the dropped kitchen floor area, so you could stand upright when you were cooking or whatever else you were doing. But yeah, moving inside, over here you've got a little stove. You've got fridge down below. Keep all your cans of beer in, and then at the other side you have got your sink when you move that little tray out the way. So that's pretty handy. And I don't know what's in here. A couple of little connections there. Storage for something else, and I think this is just pure storage down below. Yeah, so that's just storage for various utensils. So yeah, there's a good few little cubby holes there, and I'm guessing that is the tap that you pull out there. I don't know if it'll work. Maybe not. We'll try it. Nothing's coming out today, so there's maybe no water in it. In fact, I think you have to turn a wee pump on to get that to work, so that's my mistake. Got a wee vanity mirror up there. And does that come down at all? Yeah, there you go. So that reveals some coat hangers. Probably isn't coat hangers there because you're not going to get coats down the back. So that's probably for cooking utensils or something like that. And there's another matching one at the other side that drops down. Yeah, it's just a wee cubby hole for storage there. So that's interesting. We've also got a wee sunroof up here, which you can see opening. Yeah, just get some added ventilation in there. And you press those two red buttons together to lock that back down. Yeah, so just one of those. And what we'll do is we'll have a go at extending the roof now. So this should be dead easy. So there's four little clasps here. So what you have to do is press that little bar upwards that unlocks it. Another one here. One there, and the final one here. And now it should be ready to push it up. So yeah, this is a manual job, this one. It'll probably fall on my head. That was a wee bit heavier than I expected. Now there should be a wee bit of trim that goes in here to hold this up, but doesn't fall on my head. Ah, there it is there. Right, okay, so here's our trim panel. Goes in something like that. And there's a wee snib there, it holds it in place. Right, so that's half of it done. Let's get the other half now. Which is, there you go. So we've now got a much higher roof. Well, I mean, You know, I'm only 5 foot odd and I still can't stand up, but let's see if we can stand up in the galley. Yeah, you can, look at that. So, short adult males can fit in these and they can cook upright, so that's good. There is a couple of things I think which also lock the roof in place, but I can't actually find them at the minute. So yeah, this is how it would be, you know, roof up, getting ready for your night in your micro camper. So let's have a look, see what else is in here. You've got a wee light there, a wee light at the other side, and one up there. So 3 lights. Now down below, we've got a wee plug socket there, 240 volt. That looks like a wee 12 volt shaver type adapter on that one. And that's just your usual lateral cigarette lighter type connection in there. And down below, we have a little stowage area, and then another 240 volt connection in there. And then up above, that's where you would store light things, I guess, like sleeping bags, coats, things like that. You couldn't put a lot of weight up there. I initially thought there was going to be some kind of like bed arrangement, but yeah, that's obviously not the case. And I think with these, you can probably put a little curtain across there which closes off. Oh, in fact, there is a curtain. Look, I've just noticed it in there, hiding, that you can pull that across. There you go. So this thing's full of little hidden bits and pieces, little features that you need to try and find, and that's the windows, yeah, so they just slide to open. Dead easy. Right, so let's figure out what's going on with these beds here. So I believe what you do, right, let's move these to one side. Find the wood. There's your the water butt in there. So I think the wood is at the other side. There we go. 3 pieces. 3 pieces of wood. And then what you do, you can tell I've not done this before. This is not a slick effort at building a bed in a Romahome. See, labelled up bed bars. Yeah, so 3 of those. Let's get this out the road. Right. So there's only 3 slots. Right, so what you do is 1 in there, mid one, that one in there, that goes down there, that goes down there. Nearly there. And that one down there. And the final piece. And there we go, we have a luxury king-size bed. So what do we reckon of this then? Enough space for a short adult? Well, there you go. I fit in sort of like diagonally, yeah. Thumbs up for that one. So put in the comments if you've owned one of these or own one of these and would like to add your opinions. But yeah, it's not too bad. So yeah, I mean, if you move over, yeah, it's actually all right, you know. I fit in reasonably well. Yeah, you get your pillows along there and stuff, and it wouldn't be too bad. So yeah, that's a interesting design setup on this one. Right, so I'm going to put this back now, and what we'll do is we'll have a wee look under the bonnet, see what's under there, and then we'll take it for a wee drive and see how it drives. Right, let's get this roof back down. So what we have is, you've got this pull cord here. I keep my head out of the road when I pull this. There we go. So there's the front down. Move that out the road, put that back out the road there, and then just the back now. Take this wee filler panel out the road. I'll definitely be getting my head out the way for this one. In fact, we'll come outside to do this. And it should, there we go. And we'll lock it in place so it doesn't take off while we are driving. That's that one. Yeah, so have to lock them in place. So it's actually dead easy once you've done it once or twice. Yeah, so that's that. There's that wee panel. get that out the road. So one other thing about this micro motorhome I forgot to mention is it does actually come with a little chemical toilet that sits down here somewhere. It's not actually with us on the journey today for obvious reasons. We left that behind, but yeah, so apparently it's just a little cube, it just sits in there, so you can even have the toilet in here if you so wish. Yeah, I think I'd probably just find a public one if it was me. Right, so let's take a wee look under the bonnet now. Hey, this bonnet really doesn't want to go up today. Right, there we go. Eventually, after 5 minutes of trying to find the bonnet release cable, and that old XUD 1.8, 60 brake horsepower. I mean, these things are bulletproof, aren't they? I mean, you know, they were in 205s, 309s, 405s, all those kind of things, and they just went on for lots and lots of miles. Let's have a wee look at this one. So what stands out is it's got a gigantic battery in it. Look at the size of that thing. It is huge. You've got a wheel? You've got a jack sitting over there. I've never seen a jack sitting over there just in a bulkhead like that in a car before. And these very old-fashioned looking glass fuses here in this fuse box. So that's interesting. And some naughty person has bypassed that fuse and wrapped wire around both sides of it. I'm getting a telling off whoever that was. So yeah, I guess that's probably just for all the equipment in the rear there. Naturally aspirated, so no turbo to worry about. I think Bosch injection on these ones, so very, very reliable system. And looks like we even have a primer there to prime that pump, you know, if you happen to run it out of diesel. I mean, I think these things you got about 50 to the gallon out of anyway, so should be no excuse for running out of fuel in it. But yeah, very, very easy to maintain. Few wee fuses added around here, but yeah, it looks fairly decent under here. Easy access to everything. I think you just needed to keep the cam belts up to date on these, and that was it. So wee filler there for your radiator, plastic end caps on that radiator. Some dates there on that strut top. I guess that was probably cam belt changes. So there we go, 1.8 XUD. Take a wee look at the driver's cab, see what that's like. Right, let's take a wee look in here. Citroen Visa, yeah, so I've never actually driven a Citroen Visa, so it's interesting. You sit very, very low in that driver's seat. There's not a massive amount of legroom, you know, due to that conversion in the back there, but it's interesting. C15 Romahomes came with a bolt arrangement for the front wiper there, apparently. After lots and lots of research, that's a standard feature. No power steering in this one, 162,000 miles. You get a fridge button there, so that probably turns your fridge on. I believe the fridges do run off of 12 volts as well as 240. We've got some lights down there, obviously no air conditioner or anything like that, and a period Philips stereo radio cassette player. Now that's quite nice. Grab handle here, in case you're going so fast that you need to hang on for dear life. Something was stuck on there at one point. Tell you what, that passenger is spoiled with legroom. They have tons of space. Windy windows were an option on the driver's side. And what else? Plenty of visibility out those side mirrors. So let's take it for a drive and see how it drives. Right guys, let's take this for a wee drive, see what it's like. Glow plug light off. Not quite. Glow plug still on. There you go, that was a light off there. Okay, so what is it like driving a C15 Romahome with the 1.8 XUD in it? Well, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but then again, I didn't expect it would be. Corners, a lot of lean and roll as you would expect, as there's half a house on the back. Hills, yeah, it doesn't really like hills. We've got a lot of unaerodynamic bodywork above us there, and on a windy day like this, yeah, it does dull performance a little bit, shall we say. So yeah, I think these are maybe designed just for plodding along a little bit. As long as you're not in a hurry, you should do just fine. Yeah, steering very, very heavy there at low speeds. I mean, it's alright once it's up and running, you know, once you're above, say, 20 mile an hour, it lightens up just nicely. Brakes are actually pretty decent, I'm surprised. they stop this old bus pretty well. You obviously get a lot of noise in the interior with everything in the rear moving about. You know, you're carrying a fridge, you're carrying a cooker, so it's certainly not a quiet drive. But it's very interesting. Like I said, I've never driven one of these, so I have nothing else to compare it against. I mean, they probably are all like this. Just had a vent trying to attack me there. Right, we'll try and put that back on. This is my suspension test route here. It definitely soaks up the bumps. Right, we've got to this junction again. Performance time. Well, let's see what it can do. Flying in first, mind. Second. Very short gears. We went 40, 45, 50. Oh, Jesus Christ. 55-ish. Foot to floor and forth. Are we going to make 60 before we hit this next speed limit change down to 40? 56. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60, yeah, I mean, I don't know, that was maybe like 55 seconds or something, and we're getting into the 30. So, that was my slowest knot to 60 I've ever done. But we got there in the end. I think these are more just designed for cruising, but yeah, I think windy days like this do slow it down. 5-speed gearbox is actually pretty decent. I've managed to find all the gears alright, so yeah, no issues there. I guess it'll just be a standard, you know, Peugeot Citroen unit of the time. Quite a small throw in it actually, considering the age of this. I mean, God, when did they make these? You know, this is a 93, I think they came out in 86, these Romahomes. I think Visas were maybe a little bit older than 86 as well. But I guess to be fair, you know, this thing's covered some miles, 162,000 miles. Well, I mean, I guess that is actually small fry for an XUD. These things would go on for hundreds of thousands of miles, you know, as long as you changed that cam belt and done some oil changes. I think they can even run on veggie oil. But yeah, you know, for something of this age, it's had a lot of use, you know, it does drive all right. You know, there's no light, I was going to say no lights on in the dashboard, but there isn't that many lights anyway. We've got a full tank of fuel, a wee clock in there. You know, it goes along all right for, you know, for what it is. Right, so what did I think of the wee Romahome then? Yeah, well, it was a funny wee thing. I mean, that's the first motorhome or motocamper or whatever you want to call it of any description that I've ever driven. So yeah, it was actually quite entertaining, but I can see why people, you know, do find these things attractive. They're very self-contained. You know, you've got an area to cook. You've got a wee sink area, you've obviously got somewhere to sleep, you know. There's only room in this one for 2 people. I guess that would be the only negative. These things are getting pretty thin on the ground. It's probably going to be quite reliable, you know, fitted with that XUD engine. There's very, very little maintenance required in those, you know, no electronics to go wrong. And this one itself, well, this is a retro shite vehicle, so it will be available as part of a car competition in the coming weeks. So that'll cost you £20. Get yourself a ticket on that one and you might get the chance of winning this C15, and then you can go away at your own wee holidays on it, if that's your kind of thing. But yeah, for me, you know, we would certainly need one with space for 3. It would need to be a bit bigger and probably have a V8 in it. But yeah, overall, yeah, it's been an interesting video. I've learned a wee thing or two about these, how you put the roof up, all the little hidden features and things like that, and I've seen how they drive. So yeah, certainly it's been a very interesting video. So I hope you've all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all for the next one.